Hey, what goes on, guys? We're back here again with another video, and today we're going to be running through my thoughts on the Haslab Star Wars Black Series Rancor, because I didn't do this with Galactus because Galactus was pretty straightforward. Like, it was, I think it was pretty well received and needed a huge number of backers, so I think that's why it took so long. But I think if it didn't need that many backers, it would have been backed and all the tiers met within the first couple weeks, week or two. But I mean, it needed a lot of backers and it got all the stretch goals, and I did back that personally. It's my most expensive thing I've ever bought, and let's just say mother wasn't too happy about it. But you know what, whatever, what are you gonna do? So obviously soon after that, I am a huge Star Wars fan, big Return of the Jedi fan. In particular, that's my favorite Star Wars movie, and Jabba the Hutt is my favorite Star Wars character. So it was natural that when they released that they were going to be doing a creature type Haslab for the Black Series, I think everybody knew immediately it was going to be the Rancor. So I thought I'd just come here and do my thoughts on it. Just like, obviously this is my side of the room. Got some of my stuff up, but obviously this is a new setting. The last time you saw me was, when I was doing my room tour. So, a little bit different than then, but what are you gonna do? But I thought I'd just run through it. So I'll talk about the Rancor itself, the tiers, and thoughts on each of them, and then my overall opinion on the whole thing. So I did take a little bit of notes on this, just to make sure I got my thoughts down. So this is kind of like technically my first scripted video. But, so let's talk about the Rancor itself. I'm going to be showing you guys pictures throughout this whole thing as well. The Rancor itself is absolutely beautiful. I think the articulation, the sculpt, and the paint are like perfect on that thing. Especially, it was weird to me that they started off with a white prototype instead of just going right into paint, because I think this thing was troubled from the start, to be completely honest. I know a lot of YouTubers are saying that, but I think this thing right out the bat was like, this is going to be an issue. And unfortunately, that's kind of the case. But I think it got better over it went, but I think it was rough to begin with. Plus, they're doing 3 campaigns at once right now, 3 Haslab projects at once, which I don't think is the best idea. I mean, the Ghostbusters pack, which if I was made of money, I would totally buy that, but obviously don't have those funds right now. And then the G.I. Joe, whatever, the jet, I don't know G.I. Joe at all, so I don't really care. But the Rancor was one that I was definitely interested in, so I wanted to go ahead and get it. And when they showed pictures, it was great. I think, and especially when they offered the paint, it was awesome. And it looks really good, and I have no complaints with the Rancor itself. The articulation is perfect. The size, the sheer mass of that thing. There's a picture of them holding it on the table. It is huge. Like, it is a very, very big action figure. So, I think it's worth that being a Haslab project and not like a deluxe figure or something like that, because I think that they did the Dewback and Jabba himself, which were pretty big, but they weren't like Haslab big. This is definitely Haslab big, and I think that it definitely works for the character, and I'm definitely happy to be able to get that in this size. But then where the problems lie are the price point. $350 for that, which is not nearly as tall as, say, the Sentinel or Unicron or Galactus himself, which it's the same price as the Sentinel. Unicron was like $800 if I'm not mistaken, 600 to 800, which is crazy, and I don't do Transformers like that, so that's insane. But Unicron was huge, and I think Unicron definitely warranted the money. But then Galactus only being $50 more is over twice as tall as the Rancor. So I don't know, $350 just seemed like a lot. I mean, me and my buddy were talking, and we were hoping for $250, $3 max, but $350, it kind of just pushes it over the edge. So we were hoping that the tiers would make it worth it, and unfortunately they kind of didn't. So tier 1, as you probably know, is the Gamorrean Guard on the Power of the Force card back, which that is before my time as a Star Wars collector. It was before my time in general, really. And while it's cool, I already have 2 Gamorrean Guards, and mostly, I think, maybe I'm wrong, but if you're buying this Rancor, I'm willing to bet you probably have a Gamorrean Guard or 2 lying around already. So they advertise it as, opening it up and playing with it, and having the Rancor hold on to it, but you know, you're going to want to keep it on the card. I know I will if this gets backed, and I do get it, because I do plan on getting it if I can, you know, save enough money for it, selling stuff on Mercari, getting rid of some old figures, which I'm pretty much there already. So I'll probably be getting this. I'm not going to open the Gamorrean Guard. I will probably just hang that on my wall. I mean, again, that packaging is before my time, but it is, you know, it has an appeal, but, you know, you get the coin with it as well. But, you know, okay. For tier 1, I think that's acceptable. I think it makes sense to put it with the Rancor, considering that's the first thing we see the Rancor eat. It's pretty cool. So whatever. If I was to give that a rating, probably honestly like an 8 out of 10. I think it makes sense. I think there are people out there who will just open it and don't care about the card and are happy to have another Gamorrean Guard, because it's an army build. You can have as many of them as you want. So for that, it makes sense. Tier 2, the bones in the backdrop. What the hell? Who thought that was a good idea? The bones are small enough to where they should have been accessories for the figure to begin with. I do not think that warrants being a tier at all, to be completely honest. I've seen people 3D print things like that, and if you really wanted them, you could probably find them on your own right now, better quality and cheaper somewhere else from a third-party vendor. I don't think that warrants being a tier, let alone tier 2. I think they should have just been accessories. If anything, I'm not even asking for them. I don't really care about them, to be completely honest. I think they should have been tier 1, if anything. And then the cardboard backdrop, making that like a big selling point. If anything, if you really thought that was a good idea, I feel like that should have just been part of the packaging and leave it as an option for the collector. If the collector is going to throw their box away, you know, then they have the option to cut out the thing. Like put a little cut line on the inside flap or something like that of the box. This is going to be a big box, so why would they not just do that? I don't see the appeal in doing it as a separate item. That just doesn't make sense to me. Plus, it's a really big thing, so why? It just doesn't. I don't think a lot of collectors are going to be wanting that very much. I can't see a lot of people going, oh my god, that's my selling point. We have to get to this many backers to get that. Because the Rancor itself stands 17.5 inches tall and 44 inches like T-posed. So it's pretty big. So to get a backdrop that big is, you know, it's going to be big. And I don't think a lot of people are going to have the space or the retail or the, what do they call it? The space to hold that. So I don't know. And plus, like, there's no floor, so I don't know. You would have to put like sand and then maybe put that in the sand. That could be cool for a picture or two, but like as a display, I just don't really see that. And I think that's a really bad idea. Personally, you know, you can let me know what you think about all these tiers. If you think that's the best thing ever, then okay, sure. But I just don't see that being a good idea. So I would give that like a 4 out of 10. The bones are kind of cool, but I don't think that warrants being a second tier. So I'm not a big fan of that. Tier 3, I thought was a joke, to be completely honest with you. My boy messaged me and was like, this is a joke, right? I was in the car with my aunt and I see that it's a Salacious Crumb on a card bag. Who thought that was a good idea? That's a really bad idea, especially considering that it's getting repacked in the $35 creature pack on the Disney Stop that you could probably still pre-order right now, which I wanted to pre-order, but I think 35 is a little much for that, but that's a rant for another time. But yeah, that was really dumb. I don't think anybody asked for Salacious Crumb. Salacious Crumb really doesn't really have anything to do with the Rancor other than being in the same movie. Like, yeah, he was in Jabba's palace and he's Jabba's other pet, but like, they never interact as far as I know, so I don't see that. And I don't have a Salacious Crumb in my collection, so I have Jabba, but I don't have Salacious Crumb. So it would be cool to have a Salacious Crumb, but I'd rather buy it in the $35 pack and get everything else instead of paying $350 to get them on a card back that I'm not even going to want to open. So not really seeing the appeal there neither, but I thought that was a joke. I think that is such a bad idea, and it's going to be on a little card, so it's just stupid. Personally, I think it's stupid. You know, you can let me know if you think it's a better idea, you know, and I'm not knocking anybody who likes it. I just think it's a bad idea, especially as a tier 3 item. If you really wanted to throw this in there, that should have been an accessory. I don't think that warrants, I think it's 16,000 for that one, 17,000. I don't think that warrants that. Which brings me to the 19,000 tier, which is, I think it's 19,000. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Tier 4, which is Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker, and it looks awesome. I personally do not need a Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker. I have I forget which one I have, but the one that I have, I'm fine with. I don't need another Luke Skywalker. You guys know me. I get one of each character, unless it's Cat, Black Panther, or Batman. Kind of Superman too, or the Joker. But anyway, for the most part, I only do one definitive version of each character. So I do not need another Luke. It's going to have to be really good for me to get it. While it's a wholly sculpted figure, a whole new sculpted figure, I don't think that it's a tier 4 item. Plus, they said specifically that the card back is what is exclusive to this purchase. That to me tells me that they wouldn't waste all that tooling just for this. They're going to throw that in the main line eventually. And the only thing that you'll be getting exclusive if you buy it for from the Rancor is the packaging, which I don't really care about at all, to be completely honest. So I think, considering that it's definitely going to be re-released in the main line, I don't really think a card back is really worth that, to be completely honest. So again, pretty mediocre, and these are all lackluster. So I'm not a big fan of really any of these tiers, which leads me to my final point. Why in the shit did we not get Malakili, the Rancor Keeper? This is the perfect time for a Rancor Keeper. That should have been tier 4, not Luke. While Luke, I guess, makes sense, that's not what we wanted to see. I think everybody wanted to see Malakili and Ula. And I understand, I could understand personally why they wouldn't do an Ula. I mean, considering she's the slave girl, I can understand why that would be kind of controversial for her character. And I'm not upset. Would I like an Ula? Yeah, for sure. That'd be awesome to get Ula. But I can understand why Disney and Star Wars wouldn't want to do that. You know, like it might, cause some problems. So I understand that. Do I think it's kind of unwarranted a little bit? Yeah. If you're buying this isn't a retail item. So if you're buying this, you know what you're buying, kind of thing. So would I like to see Ula? Yeah, but I can understand why they didn't do her. I have no idea why they would not do Malakili, because I don't think Malakili is popular enough to be put in the main line. I think this would have been the perfect place to put him. I don't think he's popular enough to put him in a wave and not have him be a complete peg warmer like Grief Karga or Moff Gideon or something like that, or Quill, where you see them everywhere. And I think it really warrants a perfect release for him. I don't know why they didn't do that. It just doesn't make sense to me. I really don't understand it. I think Malakili would have been great. Give him the staff, you could have had him pose crying. Like, that would have been sick. To get Malakili, I could have dealt with all this. I think what they should have done is the Gamorrean Guard should have been tier 1. I think that's the smartest choice they made. Tier 2 should have been the Luke Skywalker. I think that would have engaged enough people. I think tier 4, personally, I would have liked to see, or tier 3, I'm sorry. I think tier 3 should have been, like the gate. Instead of doing like a backdrop, like do like just 2 pillars and then like the gate, like obviously where the Rancor gets killed. That would have been cool. Like, it does not do metal or nothing, just plastic, like 3 simple pieces, just base, like post, and then the gate that slides in it. I think that would have been sick. Then you could have that pose like in the back, and that could have been your backdrop, and make part of the package your backdrop if you're so like concerned about having a shitty backdrop in there. Then just do that, okay? And then tier 4 should have been Malakili. That's how I would have done it. And you could tell me what you think. I would love to hear some different ideas too. Maybe there's something that the Rancor should have came with that I'm not remembering or not thinking of, because honestly, the bar is so low for these tier lists that anything probably would be better. There's not much that I would have changed. There's not much that I wouldn't accept in substitute for what they gave us. I think it's insane that the backer amount dropped on this project. It dropped. I've never seen that. I didn't even know you could do that. It dropped almost 200 on the 19th, Friday of this recording, the day they revealed those final tiers. Yeah, it dropped. That's crazy to me. So, do I think it's going to get backed? I still think that the Rancor itself is going to get backed. We might get to tier 1, maybe tier 2. Like, that's getting further out there. I doubt we will get to Salacious and Luke Skywalker. I don't think we're going to get to 19,000 plus backers. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we will probably most likely definitely get the Rancor. And I will be backing. I will be. I just have to make a couple more sales, let some money come in, and I will have enough money to buy him. So I'm going to be doing that. But, you know, in a way, it's like, should I? You know, let me know what you guys are thinking for sure, because I know it's a tough subject. If you asked me a year ago, if you could have any Black Series figure, who would it be? I'd say Kiadi, and then I'd say the Rancor. I mean, it's simple as that. It's simple as that. So, you know, what are you gonna do? But I'd like to know what you guys are thinking, because it's a very mixed plate. Some people are loving it. Some people are hating on it. I'm kind of in the middle, because I think the Rancor itself is great, but those tier lists are absolute shit. I hate them. I hate them. And like, my boy was like, this is a joke, right? When they showed Salacious. And I was like, why are they doing that? Who thought that was a good fucking idea? But, you know, what are you going to do? So, with that being said, I think that's all I have for today. Please, please, please let me know your thoughts on this, because I think I would like to know if I'm the crazy one. And again, if you like these tiers, like them. That's awesome. That means more backers, more chance that this Rancor is going to get backed, and more money out of my wallet. So, you know, what are you going to do? But let me know. For real this time. You copping? Let me know, guys. If you're not subscribed to the channel already, please do your boy here a favor and yourself a favor and subscribe to the channel. We need 300, guys. I got a big announcement and a giveaway at 300 subscribers. I'm going to be revealing the 2 figures that are going to be in competition with each other to be given away. I'm not giving away 2. I'm going to give away one of them, but I think I have a good idea of what I'm going to do. I'm going to let you guys vote on which one you like a little bit more, which one was harder to find, which I'll probably make that. I go on fall break Wednesday, so I'll probably make the announcement then. But get me to 300 subscribers. We got some big announcements and some awesome stuff to the channel that I've been working hard on. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Share with your friends, like the video, comment, let me know if you're copping this Rancor. I gotta know. So I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.